Hello and welcome to the today's lecture, wherein we are going to look at the infrared spectroscopy. Last time we have seen some applications of UV spectroscopy. Now all these spectroscopies are uh, collectively taken into consideration while assigning the structure of the organic compound, whether established structure or the new compounds or the earlier compound. Hence cyclopedia gives the data for known compounds, and for new compound you have to start from the scratch and get all the data like UV, IR, proton NMR, C13 NMR, mass, elemental analysis, and all those data are taken into consideration, and then only the structure can be assigned to the unknown compound. Okay. Now coming back to the infrared spectroscopy, we have seen that the UV spectroscopy causes electronic excitation because energy is very high, from 200 to 800 nanometer region. Since the wavelength is small, the energy is very high, which can bring about electronic excitation, and along with electronic excitation, vibrational as well as rotational changes also take place in the molecule, and that's why the UV visible spectra are quite broad in nature, where we are plotting absorbance versus lambda and we get the maxima, and that is the characteristic of the compound. Okay. Now in case of infrared spectroscopy, the principle or basis for infrared spectroscopy is when a sample under consideration is subjected to infrared light, it absorbs light and the transmitted or reflected light is measured, and that is plotted as a graph, or the spectrum we call it as in technical word, percentage transmittance versus wavelength or nu bar. It is on the same graph, you will get both the informations, and this kind of peaks are there where the transmittance is 20%, that means 80% light is absorbed, and so on. So this is the region 2.5 to 25 micron region corresponding to this wave number, because in IR spectroscopy we often come across with the nu bar, the wave number 1 upon lambda, that is the nu bar. Now this is very important for IR spectra. All the absorbance are expressed in this term, so we must understand this is nothing but inverse of lambda, and it is known as nu bar. Now IR light can bring about vibrational and rotational changes, so we are expecting sharp peaks as compared to UV, but these are not as sharp as NMR peaks. In NMR you get only single lines and multiplies according to the neighboring environment. Now degrees of freedom. Now degrees of freedom pertaining to vibrational motions are 3n minus 5 for linear molecule, 3n minus 6 for non-linear molecule. So we can compute or we can calculate for some examples. Say for CO2, I will just calculate. For CO2 molecule, it is linear molecule, n is equal to 3n minus 5 is 4. So 4 degrees of freedom, or you can say that this molecule can vibrate in 4 different ways, and out of those 4 you are expected to get, if they are having different energies, then you are expected to get 4 peaks in infrared region or in the spectrum. For CO2 linear molecule like CH4 is non-linear molecule, so for CH4 3n minus 5 3n minus 6 and n is 5, so 15 minus 6, so 9 degrees of freedom for CH4 molecule. So even a small molecule like CH4 can vibrate in 9 possible ways, and Along with these, so many rotational changes are also accompanying, and therefore the infrared spectra are not very sharp as NMR, but you can get a information if you look at the IR spectrum of the molecule. Now the types of molecular vibrations. Now type of molecular vibrations: symmetric, asymmetric or antisymmetric stretching, scissor, rocking, bending. These are in plane bending vibrations. So we are going to put all these things with the help of a simple diagrams or simple representation, and I am going to draw all those things. What is the meaning of stretching, bending, the Hooke's law of elasticity, which is applicable in this case, and there are certain assumptions when you look at the molecules, or to be precise, bonds, because we know that organic compounds are made up of various bonds, CC, CH, CO and so on. So symmetric stretching, I will just put 3 carbon atoms, right. This is symmetrical stretching, and this is antisymmetric stretching. Now what is stretching means? Now stretching means the bond length is getting changed. The assumption is the spring which is used in gym for workout. For stretching you require more energy. So in this case also vibrational changes for stretching mode are more energetic, because you need more energy to stretch the spring, whereas for bending you require less energy, and therefore these bending vibrations, they are having less energies associated with them, and accordingly those peaks will be appearing in the infrared spectrum. Now this you can even show it with CH2 group. I will just put CH2 group here. This is central is C, these are H. So if I want to show it like this, this is symmetrical, and if I do it like this, one is going off out, the other one is coming in. This is, so this is symmetric, antisymmetric or asymmetric stretching, wherein you are assuming that these bonds are made up of balls, and the atoms are made up of balls, and the bonds joining them are springs. So a Hooke's law of elasticity is applicable to those systems wherein we are having the frequency of those changes or the vibrational motions. Now coming to the scissor, rocking and bending mode, wagging or twisting bending mode. Now in bending vibrations there are two ways, in plane bending and out of plane bending. Now in plane I will just show it here. So CH2 group we are talking about. Scissor, this is scissor bending. Scissor because these two things are coming closer in opposite direction, so appears as a scissor, and this is rocking mode. Now the dihedral angle is getting changed, but all the three atoms are in the plane, so they are known as in plane bending mode of vibrations, and they are also associated with certain amount of energy. Now coming to the remaining two, so remaining two also will draw quickly, and then the energy associated with each type of vibrations also we are going to put. CH or we can also have this is wagging mode of. Now this plus and minus sign, they indicate that these two are coming above the plane. C is in the plane, these are coming above the plane, or minus means they are going behind the blackboard's plane. So both are wagging mode, and in twisting one is going behind the plane, one is coming, so it is like one bond is going behind the plane, the other one is coming towards you. So that is twisting mode of bending vibration. So all these are having different energies. I will just list it in the form of how these frequencies associated with them. So symmetrical stretching, anti-symmetrical stretching, scissor, rocking, wagging, and twisting. I am just listing some of them, like 1320, 857, 1210, 1050, 3652, 2349. All these values are in. So you can see that these many type of vibrational changes can give rise to so many peaks. So that's why IR spectrum is also complex in nature, and to understand it, it is divided into so many regions, and we'll come to that part later. Like these are the frequencies or the nu bar of the changes, the vibrational motions in the molecule when it absorbs IR light. Now which compound will absorb IR light, which will not absorb IR light, that is depending upon the selection rule. Now this rule states that only those vibrations which can bring about change in dipole moment are IR active. Otherwise, if there is no change in dipole moment, they are Raman active. So CO2, the symmetrical stretching will be having no change in dipole moment, so it is seen in Raman line, and so on. Change in dipole moment, if it is more than 0, then only you will see higher absorptions. And according to Hooke's law of elasticity, nu is the frequency associated with that vibration, is given as 1 upon 2 pi c. These are constants. C is velocity of light, k is force constant, mu is reduced mass. Now reduced mass you can calculate like mu is equal to m1 m2 divided by m1 plus m2. So accordingly, if I calculate for Cc bond, 12 into 12, that is 144 divided by 24, that is 6. So reduced mass is inversely proportional. So more the reduced mass, the frequency will be less, and less the reduced mass, frequency will be more. For CH bond, it is between 3300 reciprocal of centimeters around, and Cc is about 1300. So lot of difference is there because reduced masses are different. Even reduced mass is different for CD bond. Even we can I will just list one bond here, CD. For CD it is m1 m2 divided by m1 plus m2. So it is going to be 12 into 2 divided by 12 plus 2, 24 by 14. So calculate. So it is 1 point something. So CH bond is supposed to be more stronger than CD bond because it is evidence from the reduced mass, because for 24 by 14, so 14 ones are 14 and 14 sevens are 98. So roughly it is 1.72 something. So 0.9 and 1.7, naturally 0.9 will have upper hand in terms of frequency because reduced mass is inversely proportional to it. And the force constant, as you can see, that for CC bond it is 1100, for C double bond C it is 1600, for triple bond it is 2200. So here the bond order is directly proportional to force constant, and that is what is expected. Stronger the bond, more will be the force constant, and vice versa. In order to understand the entire IR spectrum, three important regions are made for the sake of convenience, and they are functional group region 1300 to 4000 reciprocal of centimeter region. Now in this region, all functional, this is also known as stretching mode vibrational region, because all stretching mode of vibrations will have this energy, like all those peaks will fall in 1300 to 4000 reciprocal of centimeters. Say for example 1300 is CC stretching mode, 4000 is OH stretching mode. Fingerprint region is you can define this as identification of any organic compound, because no two different molecules can have same fingerprint region. So if I have the authentic IR spectrum of a compound, and if I prepare a compound and if I match them, if their fingerprint region is matching, that means those two compounds are identical, otherwise they are different. And aromatic region, this is below 900, so 900 to 600 something, in which CH out of plane bending vibrations are normally seen, and that's why this is known as aromatic region. So you will get CH stretching out of plane bending mode of vibrations will be seen in this region, and you can find out whether the compound is mono-substituted benzene ring, di-substituted. If di-substituted, whether it is di-substituted, meta-di-substituted, para-di-substituted, it is poly-substituted, and so on. So all the information you can derive from this part of the spectrum, and That's why the next immediate thing is to know about the functional group region, the type of bonds which we come across in organic compounds, and the frequencies associated with them. So, we have to write down the bond and nu bar, COH, and so on. We have to make a chart, and then we have to look at the factors influencing IR frequencies, and then numericals only based on IR spectroscopy, then UV IR combined problem. That is how we are supposed to go with. So, I will just quickly revise the thing today, and then next time we will start with this chart, then the factors influencing IR frequencies, and so on. So, what we have seen today, the infrared spectroscopy is one of the technique in which the organic compound or the molecule under investigation is subjected to infrared light. Depending upon its nature, it absorbs IR light and emit it or reflect it. The transmitted light is recorded in the form of spectrum. We have seen that percentage transmittance are against wavelength or nu bar, and you get peaks, and from there you can get a information. Then types of degrees of freedom, 3n minus 5, 3n minus 6, these are the vibrational freedoms, and according to the nature of molecule, whether it is linear or non-linear, you get those many degrees of freedom, or those many peaks will be there associated with the vibrational changes in the molecule. Then types of vibrations, stretching and bending, these are the prominent types. So, we have to consider a spring, this is stretching, and these are bending modes, and accordingly energy will be more or less for the particular vibrational motion. We have seen the drawings with CH2 group. This is representative, not that we are always coming across with CH bond. We may have CC bond, OH bond, OD bond, CD bond, NN bond, CN bond, and so on. So, accordingly the frequencies will vary, and for a particular functional group, a region is fixed. So, you can get a information about functional group, and then we have to compile all the data, UV, IR, NMR, CMR, mass, and then the cumulative effect will be the structure, the actual structure of the molecule. So, we have to keep on doing all these things. Maybe next time once again I will revise, because these are new things for you guys, and we will give more emphasis on the application part, because this thing you can read and understand, but when it comes to the application part, then a little understanding is required, like maths. The application part you have to learn by solving the numericals. So, maybe next lecture we will have the chart, frequency chart. We will see the parameters like the factors influencing the IR frequencies, and then the numericals based on IR, pure IR, then UV IR, and so on. Okay. I think for today it is enough. We will continue from here in the next lecture. Thank you.